So, Padideh, welcome to the show and thank you for being with me today. Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Pedro. Thank you for your offer. I'm very glad in this situation, yeah, to talk to you.
Yeah, I know we are all at home, and it will be very cool because I literally, like yesterday, interviewed your husband. So
Yeah,
it was very cool to see. So I guess we can start with that. Like, so did you guys meet in music school in Tehran, or was it? How did you guys meet? I'm always curious
uh,
about musicians that are
yeah,
couples.
yeah. Actually, our family was friends, and but we meet each other in a group, and then but our family was a old friend, and yeah, we play together and then we talk.
Uh-huh. Oh, interesting. That's so
Yeah,
cool. And you are from Tehran, right? Were you
yes.
born there, or you were born in another city?
No, I born in Tehran.
Oh, okay. And how long have you been in Canada?
It's almost 4 years
Hmm.
that I've been in Canada. Yeah, I immigrated uh, from Iran straight to Canada.
Right. And just out of curiosity, because like in Toronto, we have so many musicians that are like from all over the world, and I'm always curious to know like what was the thinking and why did you guys choose Canada specifically? There is like a big, of course, Iranian community in Canada and in Toronto specifically. Was there like a specific thing you guys were looking for when you moved to Canada?
Uh, yes, one of our goals, we have so many goals for immigration, but one of the most important things that we think about that is to play with a musician from other countries. Like, because in Iran, we don't have any chance. Yeah, but if there is a chance, it's very small chance that we can play with musicians from all over the world. And Canada is I think, is the best country that we have this opportunity to play with musicians from all over the world because it's like multicultural country. And we are very happy that we are here and we did it. We play with like not all of the musicians here, but the things that we are looking for. We found many people, maybe musicians from other countries.
Yeah, that's amazing. And how did you? Well, we're going to talk about the instruments that you play in a second. But how was your musical like upbringing in Iran? Did you start playing since you were like a kid, or was it something that it was later in life? Like how did it start for you?
My father plays music, and one of my brother was in Art Music School in Iran, and then after when I see him that he saw him that he plays very well, I went to school to Art Music School when I was like 12, and I played tar from the beginning, and the music school in Iran was very good, and I had that opportunity to play with the maestro of tar, Hossein Alizade, and also with my teacher Behrouz Het, that they are very good in Iran, and I played with them. And in art music school, also we play piano for 2 years, and also we learn how to compose we play like percussion, we play the second instrument that I have piano and sitar, and also I play a little bit kamanche.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. And after that, I play in several orchestra. I play in national orchestra, international orchestra. That it's like a kind of symphonic orchestra with the Iranian instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know you sing too, because in one of our shows you did sing a little bit of a tune for us.
Yeah, actually, I love singing. I'm not a singer. I love singing. I went to class to learn how to sing, but I just sing that when I like to sing. But I don't know. I'm not a singer.
Mhm. Yeah, you focus on the tar and on the sitar. So I guess let's talk a little bit about the tar, because I remember like my own journey in like music from around the world was with percussion, with Arabic percussion, and like very soon after I found the oud that I thought was so amazing to play and to listen to, and then I started finding other instruments like the saz and the other instruments that are like from that, let's say, lute family. And I remember when I saw the tar and the sitar, and we should mention that even though the word will be the same as in the Indian sitar, the Persian sitar is different, and we may show later. But the tar had such a beautiful and interesting sound, and even I guess like the back part of it, like the resounding board, is so different. So can you talk a little bit, like just guide us through the tar that is such a beautiful instrument?
Yes, tar, it's very ancient, it's very old, and it's one of the oldest instruments in Iran. But first it's sitar and then tar. And also sitar and sitar, we write it like sitar, S-I, but sitar is S-E.
Uh-huh.
And also, yeah. And tar in Persian, the word tar in Persian means strings.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, strings. And maybe because of that, we called it tar. And it has 6 strings, but we play double, 2, 2, 2, like this. And the wood is like, here is walnut wood, here is mulberry wood. Mm-hmm. And it has a skin on top of it, a skin of lamb, like unbirthed lamb. And also in Iran we say that it's heart, it's shape of the heart, mm-hmm. and it's like 2 hearts that hugging each other. And
I never noticed. Uh-huh. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Here it's we tune it's for the tuning, mm-hmm. And it's most of the time we tune it in C, G, C, like do, sol, do. Mm-hmm.
I guess we can maybe show a little bit of how it sounds, because it has, I think, because of the skin on the top. It has this, instead of being completely out of wood, it gives this interesting resonance that is
different, because of the skin, and we have some problem here with that, because in the summertime the humidity is very up here, and it hurts, it kills the sound actually, because the skin is very tight, and it's hard to play in summertime.
Yeah, I think in every traditional instrument that is made for one kind of climate, and especially when you go to like the summertime that is super humid, it gets so difficult to play, and you have to retune it every time. And in this case, since the skin is glued, you can't really control, right? What's And the one thing that I think, before we show how it sounds, one thing that is very interesting about the tar, and I think with the sitar too, is that the frets are actually movable, right?
Yes,
You can
yes,
move the frets to do different tuning and you'll get into scales and all that in a bit. But maybe you can show us a little bit of how the instrument sounds.
yeah. The sound of the instrument is, for example, if we want to play like traditional thing, we have the semitones, we have the quarter note in tar that it's very specific for the Eastern instrument. But also we have the like major, minor, the things that we play with the Western instrument. It's like C major,
Hmm.
like like
Hmm.
I had a concert with these tunes. I forgot it, but if we want to play traditional thing, I can play some song for you.
Beautiful, amazing. Yeah, thank you for showing us that. Yeah, and one of the things that like it's cool that you did this like a comparison between, let's say, a famous Western tune and showing how it like the how the sound is with more like traditional Persian music. And I think that's one thing that we can mention, that like you mentioned about quarter tones, and we should just mention, because we don't know who is going to be watching this, that sometimes comes from traditions that are not like used to Western to Eastern sounds. And specifically in Persian music, you guys even have different than the Turkish and Arabic makams, right? With those scales, it's still a modal music, but the quarter tones are in different places, right? How does that work? Like, can you tell a little bit of how it works in Persian music?
In Persian music, for example, if we have, we say Quran, means it's between flat and natural. For example, if we have E, this one is flat, this one is, and then, for example, if we have A, La, this one is flat, this one is Quran.
I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's sure I play. It's one of our main daska.
Hmm.
The name is Shur, and we have like a Quran, and we have B flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what it makes it sound. Even I remember, like when I was first listening to Arabic and Turkish music, and then with when we started like exploring the Persian repertoire, it was so interesting to see. Oh, it's a very different sound, and it makes it so nice to hear like other options of how to do, because usually you're so used to major, minor, and tempo instruments, and that's
Yes.
it. And in Persian music, you have all these other like options. And the one thing we talked with Ali too was this idea that and I think on the tune you were playing, that the having things on a 6/8 signature or having things that are counted to six is very common in Persian music, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. In Persian music, 6/8, it's very like famous. Before I thought that the rhythm is like the thing that in all around the world is the same, you know. But when I came here, I met this musician. I play with them in Kuneb. I don't know, do you?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And the Art Global Music Orchestra. That band is like 12 people from 12 countries, and we make music in that group. And when I play with them, and each musician have the specific like music from their country, I understand. No, 6/8 is different. Like 2/4 is different. Every rhythm is like a specific for that country. And for example, we have rhythm from Burkina Faso that we play with Sally, and it's like very interesting and hard for me. It's all of them is one. I can't, when they play, I can't count it. I just play it. It's very hard for me, yeah. But it's also very interesting. And back to 6/8, yeah, 6/8 is different, and also sometimes it's difficult for the other musician to understand it. I can play.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks for showing that. One thing that I noticed, and I've not really noticed this before, but like just like the oud, you mentioned that the strings are like doubled, right? In the tar, and then the bass sound that you have like on the top, you do most of the melody part you do on the bottom two strings. Is that it? And then
Always like that. When we tune in C, G, we have the. But this one is more to play the rhythm, like this. But some songs we have that we have the melody here. It's the same tune as the first string, but like one octave lower.
Lower. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's very cool. And one thing that I noticed too is that the tar, as you mentioned, is very ancient. There are even those Persian miniatures that have depictions of people playing the tar, like in old times. And it's an instrument that sort of like went into other places too, right? There is like versions, I think, in Caucasian regions. There is like in Azerbaijan they have like it's sort of like, and that's one thing that I don't know. Are they playing it in a different style, or is just a repertoire that is different?
Yeah, I saw in Azerbaijan we have it, but the bowl here is like very straight, and they put it here.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they put it here
We
and
play here.
play it like this. Yeah, and the instrument is different, but the name is the same. They say the tar, but it's a different instrument, and they have some harmonic also strings on top of it, like sitar.
Ah, I see. That's why it's always. I always thought like, okay, visually it sounds it looks the same, very similar, but it's the sound was always very different. And then also the way that they play
Yeah,
that it's a
they like
very yeah. And
yes, yes.
also that's one thing that I wanted to know. Like on the right hand on the plucking, are you using any kind of like plucking instrument or like
Yes.
a device, or using your thumb or?
This one is like the material here is metal, and we call it mum. Mum is the things for honey for the bees. I
Ah,
don't know English the word,
I'm trying
and
to see.
how that be?
Oh, okay. Like uh, all the native English speakers are now yelling at
Yeah,
us. Yeah, but I got you. I got you. Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah. That's the one, and we played it with that.
So this is like for holding, having comfort, and then the sound to get that more biting sounds is because of the
Yes,
metal.
yes. The sound is two metal. We have another we call it mezrab. We have another mezrab with a bone. They make it with bone. But the sound of this one, bone of the animal, but the sound of this one is more natural.
Right. Yeah, and the strings are made of because I know that originally like most string instruments they had like gut strings, but I don't know what they're made of now. Like
It's metal string.
oh, metal strings. Okay.
Yeah, both of them is metal. Yeah, but sometimes we can hear the metal on the top of metal. Yeah, but when we play fast, you can't hear.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's amazing. Yeah, thanks for showing that. And one thing before, I guess we can show a little bit of the sitar to make a
Yes,
difference. But one thing I wanted to ask you before that is your approach to composition, because you mentioned that especially with the kune that you guys are like creating music together, inspired by other like cultures too, and getting all this inspiration. How is your approach to composing? Like I'm always fascinated to see how different musicians
yes,
approach it. Like, can you tell a little bit about your process and how you like to create music?
yeah. I want to tell you my story. That what
Yes.
happened when, yeah. After the school in Iran, I went to the like university of the playing for tar like as a performance, major performance in university in Iran, and then I played and performed in Iran. And then when we moved here, I because we have a lot of problem with the kids, with the like situation that we put away every situation we had in Iran, and we came here. It's very hard for the like musician, for every people. I think for all of the people, it's immigration is a very terrible story.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Hmm.
Then yeah, and then but here when I was like 4 months, just 4 months here, I went to the Royal Conservatory. I passed the interview, like audition. They it was an audition that they asked for non-Canadian, the people that it wasn't born in Canada, to come and take an audition. And I was very lucky that I passed that audition and I could work here, as a musician, because it's very hard to have your major again here to work as the same in Iran. And I find some students, and in that group, I met a lot of people, and between that, I met you. That I
Hmm.
was so lucky that I met you and your wife,
Yes.
and I played with other groups. And I composed in Iran before for like traditional music, Iranian composing. But here, when I went here, I played something, and they loved it. And but in that group, the sound is different. Uh, and I make my own group. I make my own group. The name is Parto. And it's good that you know that the Parto is, when I made that group, I was in treatment because I got cancer here like
Oh, I
2 years.
didn't know that. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I got like breast cancer here, and I was in treatment, and I think about something that I should like pass everything and don't think of the like that situation, like the cancer. And because of that, I made my group. Parto, the name of Parto means sunbeam, and it's yeah, and I think that that shows me that I should come again, I should born again, and I should start again. And that group, it helped me a lot. And I record an album with my friends in Parto, and I composed 8 songs, and me and Ali sing in that song, and also Alina, my friend from
Yes.
yeah, Brazil, sing in Portuguese, and I sing in Persian, and we mix some songs together. Um, it was traditional, but the sound that we hear, it's not Iranian, because, for example, Selçuk is a clarinet player from Turkey. When he plays, it's like with the accent of Turkish, you know.
Yes.
And that sound, but I like it, you know. I love it because it's like something new for me. It's because I hear a lot, I listen to the music traditional a lot, I need something new for myself. And that helps me a lot. And I composed for Kune one song that Alina sings in Persian in that group. Like I taught her at how to sing in Persian, and he sang, and we record that album too.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, thanks for telling the story. And I'm sorry, I didn't know about the cancer. And is it in
Because
full remission? Are you okay now?
yeah,
Or
I'm now. Yeah, I should be in treatment for 5 years because I was so young when I got cancer. But I'm good. Yeah, and the music helped me. Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and we'll have like for the show, we'll put links to the album so people can check it out. And it's so interesting that like everybody has like different reasons sometimes to have music, and music help us with in the difficult times, especially,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah, and in your process, do you sit down and play around with a melody, or do you get inspiration from traditional tunes? How do you, or do you think of an idea, or in this case, it was like more the emotions and the things that you're going through? But how do you approach it, like to the creation of music?
As you know, our music is based on improvisation. You know, we have some sort of daska that every student in the school, in music school, should learn it, should memorize it, and after that you should play, improvise, but based on the rule, based on the daska. And for composing, it's the same. You are composing, but like by the rhythm, and you make some melody, but the root should be in the daska. It should be like connected. And that, but sometimes we have a poem that we can make the music based on the poem, based on the rhythm of the poem, because we know that every poem in Persian poem have a rhythm. like da dam ba bam ba ba bam bam, like have a rhythm. And when you want to make that music, you should be in that rhythm. If you don't compose on that rhythm, the sound that people heard, it's not good. You know, they didn't understand the poem, the meaning. The meaning change, and it's not good. It's not professional.
Oh, that's interesting. And let's talk a little bit about this, about the improvisational part. Like in Arabic music or in Turkish music, it's very common to have you have, let's say, the main melody that it's the song that you learn, but you are expected to put a little bit of yourself on it, right? And to improvise on top. Can you maybe show us like what would be like a basic like a melody, like it can be traditional, one of your compositions, and then show how it sounds with the ornamentation and improvisation. So just to have an idea.
Yeah. For example, if I want, because I play in, I can play in Charga. Charga, one of the main dastgah. For example, if I want to play, it's the tastic, it's the with the lyrics. But if I want to play like nice. Yeah, we have so many, like, I forgot the name is in English.
Yeah, like you have a lot of glissandos and vibratos and those pluckings with the left hand too.
Yes, all of these things, it's natural in our instrument, and I understand it when I play something for one of my friends that it's not Iranian, and he asked me, "What do you play?" And I said, "It's like me." He said, "No, you play something between that, like." And it's natural for me. I didn't understand when I played it. Automatically, I played like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that is so interesting, that in these each instrument sort of like allows you a certain room to create certain sounds, right? Like and then in this case, I think because of the distance between the frets, you're able to really go quickly, right, from one thing to another, and do very interesting like sounds that that make this ornamentation so like specific to the tar. It's so beautiful.
Yes, yes, all of them. It's we can play like fasting. Like some exercise that I give my students to play to make warm up things.
Right. And do you have to press the strings like more lightly, or is it like you have to press more strong? Or because like for example on the oud, if you press too strong, you won't be able to go fast. It has to be a sort of like the specific strength. How does it work on the tar? Is it the same thing?
It's the same. It's not we can play fast, but it's hurt. It's hurt your finger. It's hurt your hand, and it have a specific amount of the pushing. Yes, but you can play when I teach. Sometimes at the beginning, the students can't play these things, but I always tell them that this stretch, it's work, you know, your finger is not getting longer, but this if after 2 days, 3 days, it works and you can play it well.
Oh, very interesting. And do you think that, like, for example, for like maybe like musicians that are from like that play guitar or play other kinds of string instruments, is it are these skills transferable? Like, if you learn one kind of string instrument, is it makes it easier to play the tar, or do you think it's better to start from like from scratch? I never know how transferable the skills
Yeah,
are.
sometimes, for example, I saw that from guitar to tar, it's the right hand is have a problem because in guitar they put it like this and it would also, and in tar it's like we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't
Break your wrist. Uh-huh.
bend, but and it's a problem. They have like in their mind that they get used to that, and it's hard for them.
So you actually have it like this. I was not
Yeah,
really paying
yeah,
attention to. Uh-huh.
right, right.
And the
Yeah,
movement then is made on your wrist, but
yeah,
it's up and down.
just on wrist. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, just on wrist, and it should be very like it's not. It should be very heavy, very tight, and also it should be like in your foot when you put tar. In with this hand, you should.
Right. You should be able to
Yeah,
hold it without
yeah,
using your
hold.
left hand. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. And also, but for example, in guitar, they most of the time play the arpege, play the harmonic, but in tar we don't. We play the melody, That's
Yes.
the differences.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I guess one thing we can do now would be to show maybe the sitar, just to show the difference between the two instruments. It's amazing.
Yeah, this one is sitar. I play sitar with mezra, but most of the time people play it with the nail. You should, yeah, make your nail grow up, let them grow up. This finger, the
Uh-huh. The
pointing finger,
index finger has to be a long nail
yeah,
so you can play.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
interesting.
But
Uh-huh.
because I don't have nail, I play with the mezra.
Mm-hmm.
The sitar before had three strings. Se in Persian means three,
Mm-hmm.
and setar means three strings. But after it's a person came, the name is Mushtaq Ali Shah. He add one more string to the setar. Uh, but actually, we play three strings. It means that we play the first string one, the second string, and the third and fourth we play double. We don't play
Ah.
three.
Ah, interesting. That's why it has the
Yes.
sound. Uh-huh.
And most of the time we tune it B. The first string, but we call it C.
I
You
see it.
know,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
transmission. I don't know. And the tune now is C G D. We tune the last two D.
Beautiful. Thank you for showing. Yeah, and the same thing applies to the sitar in terms that the frets, they are like movable. You sort of like
Yes.
adjust it.
The fret, yeah. The fret is exactly like tar, and the left hand is like exactly like tar, but just the mezrab is different. but the differences is not a lot. Because of that, most of the tar player can play sitar as well. Yeah, it's easy for them.
And I was noticing that I never really paid attention with the sitar when I was seeing played. So you were using basically your index finger to go up and down.
Yes, just the index finger. Sometimes like the thumb for the play just in the last string, but most of the time it's the first indexes.
Oh wow! So you really have to develop like the technique for the right hand. It's probably very different, huh? Oh wow!
I can play something else. You can hear the sound more, and you can see that we have the rhythm also inside that. We play the rhythm in the into last strings.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you for showing us that. That's amazing. Yeah, and it's such a like a beautiful and different sound that I don't think there is any other string instrument like from both the tar and the sitar. I can't think of any other string instrument that quite sounds like that because it has both this high pitched sound that you can hear, but it has this resonance that sort of like keeps you in. It's really beautiful. Yeah. Do you have a preference for either sitar or tar, or depends on the mood? Do you prefer?
I prefer tar.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sound of tar more. But in the school when I learned, I always said that I love tar more. But my teacher told me you should learn sitar sometimes in the future. Maybe you feel that you like sitar more. But now still I love tar more.
Your heart is with the tar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Cool. One more thing I wanted to ask you before we wrap it up, and again, thank you so much for like taking the time to showcase your music and showcase your story. And it's one of those things that some of the good things, one of the few good things that happened during this quarantine when we were recording this is that we're able to like practice with each other and talk to each other and do all those things and even like know those like life stories that we didn't know. I'm very glad to know that you are well now, and you just have to keep an eye on it, and that's amazing. Do you? One thing I wanted to ask, I started asking it yesterday with Ravi, that plays tabla. You probably know him in Toronto. And I was stealing this question from my wife because she asked that dancers when she interviews dancers for her podcast. And I totally stole her question. But the idea is like, what in your experience, like as a musician, and when you play music from Iran, or when you're creating fusion with other cultures, what is the thing that makes you like be like super like in love, or to really appreciate Iranian music that you'd like to share with people, or things about Iranian music that really catch your eye, catch your ear, I guess, and that you would like to share with the world, and that makes you even cross the ocean to go to Canada and share your culture? Like, so what is it about like Iranian music to you personally that is so special?
The things that I understand, and I feel it before, but when I moved here and people listen to my music and they told me too, it's the feeling of the music. The music, I think Iranian music is kind of music that it's go to your heart. It's not like the music that you can just hear, listen to, and like eating. Just listen and like, I don't know. It's something that you should focus on it. I think, yeah, because I heard a lot when I had a concert in Corner Hall with the Kune, and we have a different music. And we have a tour and all in US. The people after the show, it's come to us, and always they told me that your music, it's very like emotional, very go to my heart. Always they told me like this. I think it's because I don't know what is the reason, but maybe in Iran people are very, very emotional, very kind, and also have a lot of pain in the situation, always in the past and now also. And they have a lot of, I don't know, maybe because of that reason that our music is from a heart, that when we play it, it's not from our mind, it's not from like brain, it's heart, it's very inside. And that's the point that I understand, and it's very, for me, it's very valuable, and it's very important for me.
Well, it's amazing. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's to
Thank
me
you.
at least, whenever I hear Iranian music, it's very the way you said it is very, very true. Like, it's not like you can be doing something else and just listening on the
Yeah,
background. It's something that really catches you, and it's in a way like spiritual, but very grounded
yeah,
in emotion.
is a good word for that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it gets like, it has this crescendos, and it has this like it's like a storytelling kind of music, very rich. I really, really appreciate it. So if people want to like check out your work, and I know you teach, I assume these days you're teaching online, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I teach it online, and I before I taught online too, because I have some students in US, and I taught them by Skype, and they can catch me in their Facebook,
Hmm.
Padideh Ahrarnejad, and then you wrote my name in the YouTube, your link, and also in Instagram.
Oh, you're in Instagram too. So we'll put links when I edit this. I'll put little links so that people can go and follow your work. And you are with Kune and with your band. What's the name of your group again?
Parto,
Parto.
Partow. Yeah, and my music is in YouTube with the Parto name too, and also in Spotify and
Oh, amazing.
some.
We'll put links to all of that when it comes out. Again, Padideh, merci. Thank you so much for being with me, and looking forward to seeing you again in Toronto when I come back, when this
Sorry.
quarantine
Yeah, playing
stops.
together. Yeah, I miss to play with you guys. Yeah, I play a lot with Ali at home, but I miss the rehearsal. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, everything
it's a
was,
different thing.
yeah, all of our concert was canceled because of this situation. That's a very bad. I think this one is for the musician, because the musician make money by the concert, by the performance, by the rehearsal, by the students, and this situation is very bad for them.
Yeah, and it shows the vulnerability that we have as depending on gigs and this gig economy, right? Or being freelancers, like work for hire. I think there will be probably a lot of changes in the way that we think about like the future. And I know the government of Canada is helping a little bit the people
Yeah.
like the musicians there, so that's very good. So again, Padideh, thank you so much. It was
Thank you.
very good.
Thank you.